Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I'm
Hi, I'm so excited.
definitely. I know we're just waiting on Bonnie. I just sent her over the information right now, so
Okay,
definitely,
great.
definitely excited. Yeah, we do a live every Thursday, like at noon, and it's our like weekly meeting, and so this one went a couple hours. So
Wow,
yeah,
really?
yeah, but we've also have it. It's been like 2 weeks since we've done it, so
Did
yeah,
you have a big turnout?
we generally have the same. We have a pretty dedicated following. It's
Oh,
generally 90% of the time it's the same people, but it's really really good. Our videos end up generally in the long run. For someone on our scale, we'll get like maybe like 6 to 10,000 views, and that's a lot for us.
nice. Yeah,
Even
that's awesome.
eventually when you
That's the
when you
lot,
grow,
period.
yeah. Well, there's some people that it's not. They're like, oh, that's nothing. Like I
Oh.
was telling you before, I had people decline me because we weren't on their level, and it's just like, listen, we've all been there. We've all,
Yeah, for
we all had
sure.
we everyone starts in the same spot.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
exactly. So thank you for taking time out of your day to do this.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll wait for Bonnie to hop on really quick. How's the day
Okay.
been?
Pretty good. Went to work and I did a killer workout and then went to my office, did a couple massages, and then now I'm here.
Awesome. There you are, Bonnie.
Hello.
Hello, hi, beautiful.
I'm so excited.
How's it going today? Oh my God, I love your shirt. I seen the crop tops.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we got crop tops and full length, and we're making a tank top too, so I'm super excited.
Ooh, I want a tank top and a shirt. I
Yes.
don't know if I can rock that crop top, but I love them.
Yeah.
They're cute.
Yes. Yeah, they're super cute. This one's like a large, so it's bigger, so it falls lower. It's not like a super low crop top.
Trying to
They're
Well,
figure
I'm
so
out
short. I'm
cute.
short too, so
trying to figure out where my video is, why it's not on.
where is your video,
Hold
Jared?
on, I'm working on it, and what was it on in the beginning?
It was, yes.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's go. Let me get this one
I want
really.
one.
Try this one more time. Was on, and then when Bob came on.
It actually went off like right before she came on. There you
There it
are.
goes. Okay. Are you good now? Can everybody
Yeah,
hear?
Yeah.
Hold on.
all troublemakers are out the house.
There we go.
Hey.
All right. Now, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can hear you, Bonnie. Can I?
Mhm.
Did you talk?
No.
Okay, I said talk real quick, and you shook your head.
Oh, oh, yes, we're ready.
Well,
I hear.
so definitely, Jamie, you are the very first episode of doing this the way that we intended to do it. So we definitely are grateful for this. So we're just gonna work this out as we go. I know you sent over an outline, so we definitely are excited. Thank you again for joining us, and
Yeah.
you definitely making an impact out there. We all see it, so we're just grateful that people like you and like us are able to continue to just to help spread positivity and hope for others.
Absolutely. That's why, that's what we're doing. We're out here saving lives and we don't even know it half the time.
Yeah, exactly. And I believe that we've all been given this chance for a second chance to start over again. And by what's better than doing nothing. We can sit here and do something,
Exactly.
even if it's one person.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I go just tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll kind of get into it.
Sure. So, my name is Jamie. I'm known as Jamie Tall out here on social media. I am a recovery advocate. It has been a little over 7 years since I have had to use any mood or mind altering drugs to change the way that I feel, since I've had to stick a needle in my arm to get out of bed, since I've made a choice to use drugs instead of being with my children. So it has been an amazing 7 years. I just celebrated. I am out of Athens, Georgia, which is UGA country, University of Georgia. So everybody here is a Bulldogs fan. Bulldogs are like huge out here. I am not, like, this is not my native home. But I love it here. I'm actually grew up in New England, so I'm also a Patriots fan.
Okay.
And huge follower of Tom Brady for many reasons.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I just, I was given the chance to live where a lot of my friends did not. So basically, I take this opportunity every day to share my gratitude for being allowed to, get like being given a second chance at life and getting to live life on a completely different spectrum. And, I show my gratitude by speaking out and helping others find their way to recovery and just letting people know that recovery is real and it is possible and you don't have to be ashamed of it.
Right. No, and I think that's where we're all at that point, as we've all have a past. And I know most people, it's they hold their head down. They're ashamed to talk about that they used to be an addict or that they're in recovery. And I always say, hold your head up high and own that, and just, you're able to show others, from what you used to be to what you are now. And it's just too many people are ashamed to do that. And I understand society is the way they make us feel that way, but
stigma behind it.
yeah. So we're trying, that's what we're all here trying to do. We're trying to change that, and recover out loud and do all that.
We no longer have to be anonymous, and I think that's super important that now we're able to use these social media platforms to recover out loud, because it's helping so many people. And we're so used to the old ways of NA and AA, and I'm not knocking it down because it's worked for so many people, thousands and thousands of people. But the fact that this is working as well is like we leveled up on recovery.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know when I was in my active addiction, if I knew that there was a community of people where I could talk about my feelings and my emotions and my addiction and what was going on, and they would actually understand me, I probably would have come into recovery a lot sooner. Honestly, I just did not know that this community was here.
Right. And I think
And
now
to do, that's exactly what I tell Jared. I try to do this because when I was in addiction, there was nobody there for me. Like I did it alone, and we need to let people know that they're not alone. You and I are here, Jared's here, then there's tons of others of us that are doing this recovery out here.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more popular, especially on social media and whatnot. And again, it's not for views and likes and follows. I mean, that's not, that's all great and all, because that helps spread the message, but that's not what it's about. We're about the mission. What's the original thing that we're here? Why did we start?
Right, pulling people out of the fire.
Yeah, exactly. So as we all know, addiction starts somewhere. So for you,
mine definitely had to do with childhood trauma. And I also believe that you are genetically predispositioned for the gene of addiction, alcoholism. My father was a very, very heavy alcoholic and then turned into an addict. His father was a heavy alcoholic. So it runs in my family. My sister I think she has like 5 years in recovery now, so I have a 17-year-old son who is struggling. Actually, he just turned 18 and he is struggling with addiction issues also, so it does not discriminate. And I do believe that it runs in the family. And, for me growing up, My father was a pretty explosive alcoholic. I didn't know what kind of household I was going to come into. Was I going to come home to my dad, who was like this happy, fun guy who liked to watch scary movies with me and wanted to eat celery and cream cheese and celery and peanut butter? Or am I going to come home to my dad, who is wasted, beat my mom up, and smash everything in the house? So it was like a matter of um like fear, like every day in this house, like so fearful, what I was going to come home to, what was going to happen. And I had a little sister and brother, and always worried about how can I protect them. So definitely all that trauma. I saw a lot of things as a kid that kids shouldn't see. My father was also involved. My family is from Sicily, and my father was involved with the Italian mafia. And so I saw so many things. I saw bloodshed and people get killed. I saw all kinds of things that
Wow.
A 6, 7 year old shouldn't see.
Right.
Yeah, that could be definitely traumatizing. I have a similar thing, but we'll talk about it when I'm on yours. But definitely, it's you see things at that age nobody should be seeing.
Right. And then, my father he got arrested a couple times, and it's like, oh, dad's in jail again for, putting someone in a trunk, and we have to move across country real quick. There was a lot of moves. I went to 12 different schools before I graduated high school. It was very hard to make friends, and having the gene of of the disease of addiction, you already can't fit in anywhere. Then you're so young, and you have to try to make friends, and meet people. And it is just so hard. And also being in a situation where you can't tell anybody what's going on.
Right.
You can't tell anybody what is going on. So, and my family is very like old fashioned, like what happens in the family stays in the family. You don't tell anybody, you don't go outside the family for help. Like that's it. So, all of that put together, and I found, my own methods of escape through that, being food. Food was a method of escape for me. Also reading books. I would read like a book a day, like, just like, and I would have this like fantasy world, and every time I move somewhere, who am I going to be this time?
Right.
What character am I going to be in this story? And that's pretty much how I coped with my life growing up.
Did that make you feel lonely? Like not being able to ask for help? And of course you can't ask for help because then CPS will get involved. And I can understand that feeling.
Absolutely. I mean, never feeling like I fit in. And then, because of my food escape, I was also like a very chubby kid. So I got made fun of a lot. So I think that was probably like the biggest thing, was being lonely my whole entire life. And then that came through all the way into my addiction until I found recovery. And then that was when I found connection. And we truly believe that connection is the opposite of addiction.
Right. Look at you being now beautiful. I'm sure you were beautiful child too. We just don't see it, We're so depressed. We're so caught up in our feelings. We don't see. We can't love we can't love ourselves. I'm sure you were beautiful as a child.
Thank you, Bonnie.
So at what age was the first time? What was the very first thing you did, and at what age?
The first thing that I did when I was 11 years old, I had a very bad day at school, and I got bullied pretty bad that day. And I came home and I chugged a glass of vodka because that's what dad did when he had a bad day. I immediately threw up and didn't try that again for a little while. After that, I think I was probably like 15 almost 16 when I first started doing your regular high school stuff, like smoking weed and, drinking 40s and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And that was basically when I found drugs and alcohol to be my solution. When I finally got to high school, I actually got to stay at the same school for the whole 4 years for high school. So I actually made friends. However, the friends that I made were the ones that, were selling weed and selling drugs and, and drinking and whatnot. So yeah, that was when drugs and alcohol pretty much became my solution, was high school, about sophomore year.
Is that where you felt you fit in just because of the type of lifestyle your family had already been living, that you felt like that was the only lifestyle you fit into?
I think they just made me feel like I belonged, like it was just fun. Like I didn't have to be in reality. And you're right, I've never even actually thought about that, the correlation between, that lifestyle and my lifestyle. Like, of course, that's what I saw all the time. So it wasn't like crazy to me. I wasn't like, oh no, they're smoking weed. Like, I was like, oh yeah, that's what they're doing. And yeah, and I remember the first time like being at a party. I remember I was at this party and I was feeling so insecure and I was feeling really anxious, and there was all these like really like popular kids there, right? And I'm trying really hard to fit in, and I start drinking and smoking, and all of a sudden something clicked in my head, and all of a sudden I was funny and I was charming and people liked me and I didn't feel insecure anymore. And I thought, this is what I've been looking for my whole entire life.
Yeah. You feel like you're the life of the party. Now I bet you don't even like going out that much, I'm like that.
Yes, absolutely. And I didn't have to worry about anything. It was just fun. Like I laughed. There was such a void of laughter in my childhood that, eating a bunch of acid and watching Austin Powers with my friends was like the greatest time of my whole life.
At what which substance would you say that you realized like it's an issue? Was it just them all combined, or
When did it stop being fun?
yeah?
I was pretty much just like, a party girl and pretty functional in the sense of I was able to finish high school with honors. I was able to graduate from college with an associate's degree in business science and psychology, even go for my bachelor's in international business. Even while partying all the time. There was a couple of indicators. I got arrested for I was doing crystal meth, and I got arrested. I'd been up too many days, and me and my girlfriend had this little scheme where we would go to JCPenney and we would steal stuff. And at that time, you could return stuff for like up to $100. They'll give you cash back. So we were going to all the JCPenney's in the state of New Hampshire, like stealing and returning. But I was up for so many days that I actually forgot that I had just been to that one. Like went back and tried to return it, got arrested. So that should have been an indicator for me. But it wasn't. It wasn't really until, I would say, not until I got on pain pills, that I really realized there's like something has to be done about this, and I don't know what to do. Where, everything else was like, it was hard, you know what I mean? Like I went through my phases of everything. I remember being like addicted to crack for like a while. I called that the worst year I ever spent in the bathroom. I mean, we had a house on the water and good job and everything. And, by the end of that year, I was selling my TV and washer and dryer that I rented from Aaron's to the dope dealer, So that should have been a pretty good indicator. but it still wasn't enough.
Right.
It honestly wasn't until got pregnant with my daughter while I was addicted to pain pills that I really realized I needed to do something.
So backtracking before that, how did the crazy things, like it was there, you said that, you sold your washer and dryer and different things, like, but what other things, did you do that should have been indicators but weren't?
Um, I my kid's father went to jail for a little while, and I gave my son to my mom so that my mom and dad, so that they could take care of him. So I could continue to pay the rent, and I went and got a job at a strip club and started working at a strip club,
Mm.
and you know doing drugs all the time, and doing all the other things that come with that. That should have been a pretty good indicator there. Doing it, my addiction took me to places of doing things I said I would never do, right? Like,
Yeah.
I would never sell my body for drugs. I would never steal from my parents. I would never sell drugs. I would never, like, pawn my dead dad's jewelry. I would never steal from my kids' piggy bank.
Mm.
All of these things that, I said that I would never do. I would never not, like, I would never continue using drugs, even if I had a drug test from DFAX due, right? I would never do that. And then there I was.
Yeah, we were talking about it on our live earlier today. The crazy things that you do for your addiction, like it's absolutely insane, and you're just like, you look back now and you're like, wow, I can't believe that I did that. Like, you just get disgusted with yourself that you even did that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The shame and guilt, carried me, it just kept me in my addiction even longer. I mean, I think I was 17 the first time I prostituted myself to some random guy, like, you know what I mean? Like, driving down the street with my friend Kate, I'm like tripping on acid, and some random guy's like, "Hey, I'll pay you if you come over here," and you know what I mean? And I went, like, it's like some, like, 40-year-old guy. I'm like 17. Like, well, what was I doing at the time? I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm gonna get paid.
Like, wait, I can make that much money in like 30 minutes. You're playing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But now I'm like, what? Like,
Right.
what? What was I thinking? That's crazy.
But that's our addictive brain, it doesn't give us a red flag. Like, what are you doing? Why are you even in a stranger's car? Stranger danger all over. And you're like, okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What age what was the time period between starting your journey with drugs and alcohol to getting pregnant?
Let's see. I had my son at 23, and I was still, like, kind of able to manage things at the time.
Right.
I had my daughter Delilah in 2010. So I was 30. So that was 15 years.
Okay.
And
so you were still with your son, you were still using?
yeah, I had stopped for a little while because my addiction was still kind of like manageable. It was still like party status, right? Like, I had my son. I quit doing everything while I was pregnant with him. I breastfed him for a year, and then, like, after, like, the first year, like, I was like, okay, well, that was good, but now I want to drink again.
You want your life back.
Yes, wanted my life back, and it was like, when I started again, it was like I never freaking quit. It was like I just came back right to the same place. It was just insanity. And life was, like, pretty crazy, and I ended up, giving my son to my mom, and that was really hard. I was supposed to give my son to my mom so that I could get my life together, and I ended up feeling so guilty and ashamed that I had to give him to my mom that it actually kept me in my addiction even more, being away from my children.
Yeah.
So, but then when I got pregnant with my daughter, that was when, like, it got real serious in 2010. So I was addicted to pain pills, and I got pregnant and I couldn't stop taking them. So I ended up coming clean to my doctor at about 7 months pregnant and telling her, hey, this is what I've been doing. I had a prescription like from the doctor, but I was taking way more, than my prescription. And, I had a prescription for like Percocet, and I was doing like 5 to 10 Roxy 30s a day.
Yeah.
And so, I tried everything I could to get off of them, because I swore when I had my daughter, like, this time was going to be different. I'm not going to give this child, I'm not going to give this child away to anybody. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to be a good mom. This is my little girl that I always wanted. And no matter what I did, I couldn't stop using. And so coming clean to the doctor, I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. Maybe we can figure something out. I can get some help. She assured me that they would just have to keep my daughter like in the NICU for a couple days, like under surveillance. And that is not what happened at all. Actually, when I had my daughter, they took her from me right away. I was not even allowed to be in the same room as her. And it just spiraled me. I mean, it really just spiraled me out of control, because I was so angry, because I was really trying to do the right thing at that point. I was really trying to change my life. And this doctor told me that she would help me. And then she went and, did the complete opposite. So,
excuse me, were you with her dad at all?
I was, but he could not be in the picture because he couldn't stop, using for like the drug test for defects and all that. So we had to say that he wasn't involved.
Okay, I was going to ask like how he had took you using and whatnot. So,
oh yeah, he was right there with me. I mean, he didn't want me to, but he was,
right. Yeah, you're so far gone, Okay.
Yeah.
How did you actually end up getting that Percocet prescription? Or did you have like a medical situation, or?
Yeah, I had some sciatica problems, and I had like some inflammation problems, some carpal tunnel stuff. Nothing like super crazy. I had been in a couple accidents. I had some MRIs, and I knew how to work the system.
Yeah. Did you ever go like hop hospitals and make up, illnesses that, yeah.
I remember the story. I've heard you, I don't know if it was one of your videos or one of your lives, but I hop on your videos and lives all the time. But I've seen a story that you were telling about, you ended up sleeping with a doctor for prescriptions.
Oh yes. That was much later. My daughter was, that was a little bit later. And so what happened was I had gotten in an accident, and of course I had some friends who went to see this doctor, young, good-looking doctor. Okay. And I went there to, get checked out from this accident. It was just, I probably just had like a little bit of whiplash, right? And I was in there for like 5 minutes, and he just started like, he was examining me, like examining like my back and my neck. And then he just started touching my breasts and just started like feeling all over me. And I was so thrown off, because like, this is like, number one, a doctor. Number two, he's like young and like good looking, like professional guy. Like, I'm like, what is going on right now? I'm like crazy, like all jade out. You know what I'm saying? I haven't showered in 3 days, right? Like, no, just totally threw me off. And yeah, he just started like touching my breasts, and then he gave me a prescription. He asked me to come back later on during lunch when they were closed. And I did. And we ended up sleeping together, and he ended up giving me a prescription for like 60 oxy 80s or something like that.
Wow.
Wow.
And that went on. I mean, I would go bring a friend. I had a girlfriend at the time, and she would come with me. And we would sleep with him, and he would give us prescriptions. Sometimes he would just meet us at the back door and just hand us prescriptions out the back door. Wow. I mean, it was crazy. Like, and we were killing it. We were making a lot of money off those.
I can imagine that. Yeah, because you're pretty much getting that for free.
Yes.
And then you're flipping it and selling it or whatever you're doing. Wow. Right. That is insane.
Did he end up getting caught ever?
So one of our friends who also went there, he ended up, I guess, giving her like a bunch of prescriptions. She ended up dying in her sleep. She was an older lady. Ended up dying in her sleep. And then I believe he lost his license due to overprescribing back then. But I do believe he is currently in practice now.
Oh, wow. That's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. I actually just found out probably like a month ago. I would just happen to be like just searching because I had reposted the video, and I was like, I wonder if this guy is even still out here. And I saw, and he's like this big like fitness guy now or whatever. And I'm like, and his thing is his profile is talking about like family and Jesus.
Like, really?
I mean, well, yeah, but on the flip side, maybe he turned himself around. I don't know.
Absolutely. That's what I was hoping. I'm like, you know what? Maybe he has, found his way. So we will hope for that.
We've all been there. So when was enough for you?
Well, I went to detox about 8 different times. I was in and out of detox. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I detoxed off pain pills. I mean, thousands. It was crazy. I was detoxing at least twice a week. And every time I would get out of detox, I would stay for a little while. I would put some weight on. I would get some color back in my face. And I would think that I could come out and get high like everybody else. And it didn't click in my brain that if I don't put in, I won't have to detox. Like, I just couldn't grasp that fact. Like, I remember people telling me, this is the last time you have to detox. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, of course I'm going to have to do this again. Like, it just wasn't even an option in my brain capacity that I would not do this anymore. And so I actually ended up getting in trouble, and I got pulled over on a Tuesday night with schedule 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is just like a little bit of everything. It was just a regular Tuesday night, really. There's nothing major going on. So, just a little bit of everything. And I went to jail, and the judge told me, we're going to give you 4 years of felony probation. So that means that you cannot get in trouble, and you cannot fail a drug test for the next 4 years, or you're going to go to prison. And I realized at that moment, I don't know how to do that. So I ended up getting out, and I was still trying to finagle ways, to just survive, right? I had no place to live. I was homeless.
How old were you?
This is 2015. So I was 35. And literally, I remember I was walking down the street with a garbage bag on my back. I was trying to figure out who I was going to lie, cheat, steal, manipulate for another night in a hotel room. And a friend of mine, she just got out of prison. She called me and she said, hey, I'm going to this sober living facility in Athens, and I think you should come. And it was like, I just threw my hands up and said yes. And that was like my day of surrender. That was like, it's probably somewhere around like the beginning of July of 2015. And then it took me like I think about a week and a half to actually like get into the sober living. So
did you feel at that point that you were ready? Like or did you just do it because you felt like you had nowhere to go?
basically I was sick and tired of waking up every day pissed off that I woke up.
Mm-hmm.
And also tired of, having to do things that I didn't want to do, like do things with people, sleep with people, to stay on their couch, like people who didn't deserve to do the things that they did to me, and I just was so tired of it. And I knew that I had to do something different. I just didn't know what that looked like.
Yeah, we get to that point where it's like you got to wake up and you just got to be like, there's got to be something better than this. Like waking up dope sick every day, chasing a high, doing what you have to do to get high, and you're just like, man, like there's got to be more to life than this. So you got to everybody eventually. I think everybody in addiction, has to eventually come to that point and just realize when is enough enough, you know. And sometimes that may take
Absolutely.
longer than others, it's just the way it goes. But that is a very big, that's a very big thing in life. When's enough going to be enough? Because we all know it doesn't matter how many times so and so tells us we need to get clean. It doesn't matter how many times we're forced to go to treatment. If we're not ready, we're not ready, and it's not going to happen. We're going to fail every single time.
That's not going to work.
It's not going to work, and it does not matter how many times you can go to treatment 200 times. And if you're only doing it because you're being forced to do it, at the end of the day, it's not going to work. You're going to fail as soon as you get out.
Yeah, you're in remission. You're not really changing your mentality. I think until your body, your mind, your soul really feels that I'm tired, you will not get it. You will not get it. I don't care how many kids you have. I don't care who you have in your life. It's not that you don't love them. You absolutely love them, but you can't even love yourself at that point,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to survive, at the end of the day. That's all. You don't even get high to get high anymore. You get high just because you don't want to be sick.
Absolutely. I know. And I remember that last night trying to get high so bad, and like it didn't even work. I was so mad.
Yeah.
Everyone tries to get loaded a bit before they go into detox. Did you try to do that?
Every time I get myself throw myself going away parties. Every time if I'm going, I am staggering. You're dragging me and I'm crawling in that place.
That's a new one. I've never heard anybody say that. I gave myself going away parties.
So what ended up happening after you went into that sober living home?
That was probably just like the best day. It was just such a relief. I walked into this house. We're like literally like a mile from UGA campus. So the sober living I went to was kind of like on a campus, and it had like these houses. There was a women's side and a men's side. And it was like, I walked into this house, this big house with 13 other girls living in it. And I was like, what is this? Like a sober sorority or something? This is crazy. And but the thing was, like, I had like a bedroom with a bed in it that was mine. And I had sheets. I remember I had these princess sheets, these pink princess sheets, and they were like so comforting to me. And so like it was like safe, like nobody could touch me, nobody could hurt me. This was my space. And I had a dresser, like a half a dresser that I could put my clothes in. I didn't have to carry them around in a garbage bag anymore. I didn't have to worry about somebody stealing them. There was like half a closet that was for me. There was a bathroom with a shower, and I didn't have to worry when I was going to be able to take a shower or how I was going to go to the bathroom. There was a kitchen with food in it, tons of food. It was like, wow, like I don't have to worry about when am I going to eat again. And the best thing was there was these 13 women who were in there, and they were trying to do the same thing that I was, be a mom, get their kids back, get a job, do something different with their life, not be pill sick and strung out, all with me. For the first time, I was not alone. And that to me was just like heaven.
Yeah, because when you're in addiction, it doesn't matter how many people party with you, you always feel alone. You always feel alone. As soon as they leave, that depression hits.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So what have you found at that time, what did you feel was the hardest part of being in recovery? Before you found your purpose, but really like what was the hardest thing for you to manage?
So one thing was like literally letting go of all of those people that I thought were my friends.
Right.
Realizing that they really didn't give a crap about me at all if I was not, giving them what they wanted or whatever. They weren't able to use me anymore. They didn't care about me. And that was like a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Because, of course, our ego, we always think we're so important.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially when drugs are, involved in it.
Right. And then I realized like I really wasn't important at all, also not being able to see my children. So my mom was just like so fed up, with my BS that and how many times, I had hurt my children, telling them like, yeah, I'll be there. I promise I'll walk you to the bus stop and then not show up. Right. That's the kind of mom that I was. Oh, you want me to read you a bedtime story? Yeah, just go downstairs and I'll be right there, and run out the door to go get high. So, she was just so tired of me being in and out of my children's life, and all the things that came with it, all the bad people I brought around them. And so I think it was the first like 3 months, I didn't even get to see my kids. And I remember Halloween, I was working at IHOP, and I almost like quit, because I was like, why am I doing this? Like, I'm doing this for nothing. I'm doing this because I want to see my kids. I can't see my kids. This is, sucks. And, having to feel your feelings and all that stuff too.
Yep.
So, that was probably like the hardest thing.
So how did you end up finding out this is what you want to do? Well, at what point did it click that, you wanted to help others?
So I kind of started to realize when I would speak in meetings, I was always really nervous to like say anything, but I figured out real quick that when I did speak, like sharing like parts of my story, like people will come up to me after and say like, thank you for saying that. That really helped me. And I can really relate to that. And I was like, like dumbfounded, like, really? That's crazy. Okay. And then I think at 89 days sober, I started telling my story at the crisis intervention unit, which I had visited a couple of times. So I got to go in and tell my story, and just seeing the people, like, their eyes light up, me telling them like, I have 89 days sober, and they're like, what? And being able to share my experience, I knew at that point there was something to it. But it took many years. I started a career as a massage therapist, which was really, really hard for me. I had gone to massage therapy school back in 2006. Right. And the day before my graduation, I got arrested in a prostitution sting. And they assured me that I would never be a massage therapist ever, and got kicked out of school, and they blasted me on the news for 3 days, made an example out of me. It was really embarrassing. So I actually was able to be redeemed in that, and start my career as a massage therapist. Actually went and made amends to my teachers from my massage therapy school. And then they wrote me letters of recommendation to the massage board. Was able to show them, these are the things that I've done since I came into recovery. This is how I've changed my life.
Right.
And was able to get a state license for massage therapy, right?
Awesome.
Started my own business, and I won best of the best for Athens last year. I think within like the first like 6 months, this was back in like 2017. I won best massage therapist for Massage Envy for the company that I worked for at the time. I actually helped create a medical massage program. I was an intern for this medical massage school and started just like building my career on this, and then started doing it in the recovery community. I started doing massage in the recovery community, and I had this idea like, wow, I bet that I could use massage to help people for relapse prevention.
Yeah.
I bet I could help use massage for medication assisted treatment. And so I started incorporating those things and created a recovery massage program. And actually, I teach that at a local massage school here.
So that's what you do now?
Athens. I do that. Yes. That's my main job. I'm a massage therapist. That's my day job.
Yeah.
And so, two things I'm super passionate about are massage and recovery. So, putting that together, and then also speaking out about recovery, and educating people about using massage as a tool in recovery. So it all kind of like goes together, a lot of people don't see that part of my life. That's something I do like on like the state level.
Right.
I became certified with Georgia Council on Substance Abuse. So I am a certified addiction recovery empowerment specialist and a certified peer specialist for addictive disease. And I'm a recovery coach. So I have a recovery coaching business called Miracles Recovery Coaching. And
well, we're gonna have to get in contact with you, because that's something I want to do.
Yeah,
that's kind of the direction where we're headed. And I heard Georgia is a good state to do it in.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And we do it. We train people all over the United States. So yeah, you could be in different states and become a recovery coach in other states. Like in Georgia Council will train you, and it doesn't cost anything. It's amazing.
Oh, well, we're gonna talk about that then, definitely.
Absolutely.
No, for real.
Yes.
So after you got after you got everything together, did you end up getting your children back?
So my children right now are 18 and 12. So my children have always lived with my mother. So I live about 50 minutes from my mom, and I could have gone to court and tried to get back, have them live with me, but they've lived with her their whole life. They go to very good schools. Well, my son, he's done with school now, but
right.
They were in private school, very well taken care of and happy. Okay. And I chose not to disturb them from that environment. So of course I see them all the time. I see them all the time. I talk to them all the time. I'm their mom, you know what I mean? And, my son, he refers to my mom as grandma, but my daughter actually refers to my mom as mom, because my mom's had her since she was born, you know? My daughter actually didn't realize that I was her mom. Like, she called me mommy, but she didn't understand that I was her mom until she was about 5.
Okay.
One day she said to me, "So I have 2 moms." And I was like, "Yeah, kind of." And she's like, "But you were my first mom because I came out of your belly. Like, you're a smart girl." Yes, that's right. So, it's just one of these situations where I didn't want to be selfish.
Right.
And I didn't want to take them out of their safety place and out of their good life. So I mesh my life into theirs. And I go, my daughter, she's does competitive dance. So me and my mom go together to, her dance competitions. We go away on vacations together. We co-parent a lot, but it took, I want to say till I had about 5 years sober for my mom to truly like open her arms up and ask me to come back home. Right. And at that point I had my own townhouse and I was like, no, I'm gonna stay where I'm at, but it took a long time. I did a lot of damage in the relationship. So just kind of acceptance, right? I had to accept where things were. And I provide for my children financially, emotionally, mentally. But unfortunately, no, they never came to live with me. I mean, we go on, vacation, they come stay here, but their home is, where it's always been, with my mom. So
life now. Are you married?
Yes, okay. I just got married.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was just
October.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Marriage is interesting. I am so glad that I was 6 years sober and had a very firm foundation in recovery before I got married.
Yeah.
I will say that. Absolutely. Because I see, in my community, relationships being the one thing that takes people out so fast. So I was very weary of that. So I was actually pretty single my whole sobriety. Mm-hmm. And then I met my husband on a recovery collaboration. So I had started kind of my Facebook ministry and speaking out, and he had kind of like this whole Recover Out Loud out in Fort Myers, Florida. And we kind of started chatting on social media, and he was doing a tour speaking in like 3 different states. And he's like, hey, I'm going to come through to Athens and let's put something together and we'll do some video collaboration. And I'm like, okay, cool. Never met him before, went to one of my local nonprofits that I work with and got, some Georgia Council on substance abuse people to come, some of the local recovery superstars to come. And we just did this whole day of filming, and it was super fun. And that was the first day we met. And that was July 11th of 2020. And we were engaged by November 11th of 2020. And he relocated to Georgia right after Thanksgiving that year.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you know.
So he also does Recovering Out Loud. That's pretty cool when you have someone who does what you do or has the same mentality.
Yeah.
He was actually my inspiration. I really had still, until I became certified with Georgia Council on Substance Abuse, I still had a lot of shame and stigma about being in recovery and recovering out loud. It was something like I wanted to like sweep under the rug. I wanted it to be over with, and until finally, it hit me like, Jamie, what are you so ashamed of? Like, you came out of the freaking gutter. Like, you were, jumping in guys' cars for a $20 Roxy. Okay. Like, I mean, no place to live, no connection with your children. And now you have, your own home, your own car, your own business. You're certified with Georgia Council on Substance Abuse. Like, what are you so ashamed of? You have gone through things that people would just roll over and die. Like, they wouldn't even try, And when I saw him speak, he had this video, and it was called What Color Is Your Tent? And he was speaking about, living in a tent and living in the woods. And I was just like, wow, I want to have a YouTube channel, and I want to speak out loud about recovery like this guy. Like, he's just so bold. Like, he just does not care. And that is how we ended up, getting together.
Yeah.
And he influenced me that well, if he can do this, then I can do that too.
Yeah, like Bonnie said, it's very I think it's amazing when you have two people doing the same thing. Funny enough, my girlfriend and I, she found me over the podcast, and she lives in New York and I live in Oregon, and we have the same vision and same everything, and found out, that we liked each other, and then we started dating, and I fly and I'll fly there every month, but that's the way, like, we both have the same mentality and the same, I'm almost 4 years sober, she's 2.5 years, but it's so the fact that we have the same heart to help people and the same desires. It's amazing, because when you're in sobriety and dating and everything, it's always, it could be a challenge, and you're always worried, is your partner going to bring you down? What's going to, so I think it's really awesome that you have somebody like that.
Yeah. I found in return, I found the other face of the coin in recovery. I couldn't stay with my partner because my lifestyle was going a whole nother place where he doesn't seem to want to go yet. So I had to walk away. I haven't found that yet, but one day.
Yeah.
One day, I'm telling you, it was completely unexpected. The only time in my life that I was not looking for somebody is literally, I say, like, God literally brought him to my front door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is
thank you.
right? So what is a day in the life of Jamie Tall look like?
Oh my goodness, it is action packed. Literally, I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, drink some tea, do a morning devotional, try to get like my spirituality foundation on, I go to the gym and work out, and then I start posting reels, start making videos. Sometimes I'll do morning devotion. Like, it's crazy because people are like, you have so much content, but it just comes to me, and you'll see half my videos, I'm literally like, no makeup on, my hair is crazy, because like when they come to me, they just come to me, right? Like, I'll be reading something or something will happen. I'll come something in my brain. I'll be like, oh, I need to tell my friends about this. Like, this is amazing, And so it's really just like, kind of like happens. Like, that's how like my content comes out pretty much. I have, my office, my massage therapy office. So I'm there in the daytime. And then I get off, I start putting up more videos, and then come home, do either a podcast live, editing videos for my YouTube channel. I mean, yeah, that's like a regular day. Weekends are for my kids. I usually go spend the weekends with them. And yeah, that is pretty much it. It's like one of those, like, basically keep going until I pass out at night.
Yeah. And you got to, that's just the way you got to keep grinding every day, all day, every day. And that's the only way that we're going to make it in life, and especially, when you're social media, quote unquote influencer for, but like, within recovery and everything, there's so much to do. I see, I love Sonia. You do a lot with Sonia Johnson. So,
oh yes,
she reached out to me the other day. So we're gonna be doing the same thing with her that we did the podcast. And so it's nice when you can find others that are like-minded and collaborate. And that's the way I look at it in these things. Like, we don't need to be, at each other's throats, who can have more followers, who does this, who does that. Like, why don't we all just, collaborate together? And this is a community, and like I mentioned to you before, I've reached out to other influencers and they've shut me down because we're not on the level of they are and followers, and it's like, you can't let your success, make you forget what your purpose was. Why did you start doing this to begin with? And remember, you started at 0 followers, just like we did, and it's like, we're not trying to, figure out who's bigger and better. It's like, that's the only way we're going to make it here is collaborating as a family and just being able to lean on each other and not, be at a fight with each other.
Right. And building. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, with that said, I just want to tell you, you have no idea how stoked we were when you said yeah. We were like jumping up and down, no lie. We were super excited when you said yeah. I was like, no, she didn't. Yeah, she did.
Yeah, of course.
Social media to like tell everyone about it.
Trust me,
Yeah.
I've been hearing about it for a while, trying to, we got to talk to Jamie. We have a list of names, like I told you when I talked to you on the phone, and we got a list of names of people, and you were on there definitely.
Thank you. That makes me feel super special.
No,
Yeah.
you really are making an impact, definitely. If you before we wrap up, I always like to have people, if you were to tell somebody that's walking through the recovery right now, what give them one piece of advice that you think that would help them, that you wish you would have had, what do you think it would be?
So a realization that I had, and I didn't have it until probably I was almost in my second year of sobriety, is that you can do anything that you want to in this new life. Yeah. Whatever it is, whatever that dream is, whatever that goal is, whatever that thing that you thought, oh, I'll never be able to do that. Oh, no, you can. You literally can do whatever you want to do. And I would always have the girls. I used to sponsor girls. I'm a 12-step baby. I would have the girls that I sponsor write a list of 10 goals. So I would I would recommend, I would suggest to write a list of 10 goals. And I'm not talking about little goals, not like, oh, I want to get my license back. Oh, I want to graduate this sober living. Oh, I want to get off probation. No. I'm talking big goals, things that are a little bit scary.
Yeah.
And then write the steps, like the first 3 steps to accomplish them, and watch how many of these goals that you can check off.
Yeah, that's kind of how like it was for us, I've been wanting to do this for 2.5 years, and I always was like, it'll happen one day. It'll happen one day, and finally one day I was just like, no, it's like, just in November of 2021, I was like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen now or never. I need to quit making excuses. I had the outline, the goal. I had everything. Like you said, I wrote all the steps down. It was just me actually doing it. And I finally in January jumped full force into it myself, knew absolutely nothing. I don't know what I was going to do, but I just knew that this is something I needed to do. And then at the end of January, I think beginning of February, I met Bonnie online. I posted a post, and I was like, I'm looking for a co-host, and just, kind of had that vision a little bit. She messaged me at like 10 o'clock at night and was just like, I don't know if I'd be a good fit, but I'd like to talk. And we talked, and we just clicked, and we hit it off really well. And yeah. And again, this is more, we have a nonprofit, that we're doing that, eventually we're going to be having sober living homes. And that's why we're trying to, be with She's in School, to be a counselor. I want to do, recovery, coach. And we have a lot, we're open up an office, we deal a lot with, she deals in California with Narcan and with a bunch of the communities and stuff. So we are very involved outside of the podcast. Is just just one small area of our, I guess you could call it a ministry, but of an outreach on what we do. And so
absolutely,
we just, we go, eventually we'll travel, we'll talk, we'll share our stories, and that's where we're at. So
yeah. And you guys definitely like, Bonnie, I just love you. I don't know, like instantly, like when Jared was like talking to me about you, I was like, give her my phone number, because we need to connect, and we need to collaborate. Like,
yeah, I'd love to do more stuff with you. I would love to.
Yeah. So you guys are such a great, I love your like dynamic and everything. You guys really complement each other, and this was really fun. You make it really, really fun. So thank you.
Yeah, no worries. So real quick, you have some apparel or some merchandise that just came out. I don't know if you want to shout that out so people can.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Show us.
it's here's the the sober AF.
I love it.
I have a couple more. I have a full length. This one's crop top, but I have like a full length one also. But Acid Drop Shop is on Instagram is who is I'm collaborating with. I've been putting them there. It's all over my profile and stuff. So yeah, just go to Jamie Tall on Facebook or on Instagram. I need to put it on my YouTube also. And you can find the link for the shirts. So yes, super, super excited about that.
Okay.
Copper merch, you guys. Copper
Yes.
merch. We'll drop the link.
Yeah, we'll drop the link. And we'll, like I said, we're gonna upload this to our channels, and we're gonna put the audio on some. I'm trying to get it on what it takes to get it on Spotify and Apple Music, different things. I know there's some steps to go through, but that's what we're gonna be doing, and we're very excited. I know we're gonna be doing an episode with you on your channel, so
Yes.
we're excited for that as well. And so we definitely appreciate you taking the opportunity to sit down with us and talk with us. And really, it really does mean a lot to us. You really don't know how much it means to us, but it does.
No, this was super fun. I had such a great time.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. We appreciate your content, your videos. I love watching your videos all the time. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Thank you so much. And I look forward to working with you. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, you take care. You have a great night. And again, thank you.
Okay.
And
Thank
we'll see you
you.
next time. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.